Within the paradigm of time, within the paradigm of the future, depression is a belief, an instinct, an expectation, an imagination that the future is going to be painful. Meaning, you cannot be depressed and feel, believe, expect, and imagine the future to get better, 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 and still better yet. You've got to have some form of expectation. It may vary. It may be that as soon as things work out really well, the rug will be pulled out from under me, right? And so I'm depressed. Even if things begin to start working out well, I'm depressed because then things are about to go poorly. Or things never work out for me. And so what's the point? I'm depressed, right? Nobody says, I'm really depressed and I'm absolutely certain that tomorrow is going to be great and the day after that is going to be even better, and it's just going to keep on getting better. So within the paradigm of time, depression is the belief, the expectation, the past projected onto the future. A future that is painful, that we don't want to feel. Because if you're expecting things to be sustainably better, not shocking, not disorienting, not traumatizing, not unexpectedly surprising in a painful way, but getting better, we want to be there. We want to speed up. We want to arrive. We want to be in our bodies. But if the expectation is that we're going to be hit, we're going to be betrayed, that this relationship is going to end in disaster, the imagination is that this could happen and that could happen. I don't want to be in my body. I want to slow it down, right? If the future is miserable, I want to do everything that I can to slow it down. And there's a variety of things that we can do. We can eat heavier food that dull us, right? Lots of potatoes, lots of sugar, potato chips and soft drinks, let's just get really heavy and full, right? Because then I won't be fully in my body when the bad stuff happens. If I'm not, I don't want to think about it. About what? About what's coming. Why? Because it's painful. I know it'll be bad. I don't want to get excited. Why? Because I'll be disappointed. In other words, it starts out that the future is bad. And then the only question is, how alive, how present do we want to be mentally, emotionally, and physically as that bad stuff happens? And that feeling of holding our breath, pushing away, resisting. I don't want to think about it. No, just go away. What? We're not saying that about our dreams and our passions. We're saying that about the bad stuff that we're sure is going to happen. So within this particular paradigm, to heal depression, to be excited, we have to heal the future, which means healing two things: our idea of the future and our skill, our ignorance, right? We have to heal our ignorance. We have to heal our incompetence, such that we can build up confidence that the future will get better, right? If every day you invest $10,000 in worthwhile investments, is there much doubt that your financial future will be better in 10 years than it is today? After millions of dollars of well thought out investments? No, it's common sense. So there's a competence, though, to create. So what we're saying when we expect a dismal future that we don't want to be present for is what we're saying is that we don't have confidence in ourselves or the people around us, because the people around us could create a great future for us. We don't have confidence in them. And we could create, if you look at the extreme cases, of people with no arms, no legs, thinking out of a tongue movement, able to have a bright future, not depressed. Think of someone, coming into the country without knowing anyone and with no money and not speaking the language and not being depressed. And, 10, 20 years later, owning a great business, so you realize that it is possible. Now, how probable is it? Well, you just look at what the percentage is. That's how probable it is. But then confidence, which comes from successful experience, is about applying discipline and choice, etc., to create a better future. So if all depression within this particular frame of reference is about a painful, fearful, depressing future, and all enthusiasm then within that frame is about being excited about a future that gets better and better and better, then to some extent the focus is on how competent are we to get from here to a better future. Do we know how to move in that direction, basically? Because if we do know how to move in that direction, and we move in that direction, and we develop confidence in our ability to move in that direction. Now, how do you develop confidence? You move in a direction, you feel better, the future gets better, your life improves, and you keep doing that, and your life still improves. And so after a time, you develop confidence, like, I think I've figured this out, right? At least I'm getting this better, right? I've figured out how to make investments, and so my money is getting better. I figured out how to save money. It may not be $10,000 a day. It may be $5 a day. It may be $10 a day. That's what I can put in, right? But still, if you put $10 a day for 10 years into worthwhile investments, your financial sustainability is going to be a lot better. But do you have the competence, meaning the discipline, the interest in the future, the desire to give yourself a good future? Do you have the competence to do that and build up the track record so that you then have more and more confidence? Right? Confidence comes from competence, repeated, right, and good results. So what I'm doing in this channel is looking at depression from a variety of different angles, and one or two of them may work for you, and those are the angles to follow. So this one, if you do nothing but competently focus on creating what you truly desire in the future, to a point where you develop confidence that you can do it, your depression will go down and continue to go down as long as you're doing that. Now, some things you can't do that. If you're depressed because somebody died and you want them back, you shouldn't have confidence that you can bring them back, right? So that looks on the surface like a dismal future, like they're never coming back. Right? And so then you have to create a brilliant future that's worth living for. You have to put something that you can create. You could say, well, they are never coming back, but I will have a really great person as good or better than them that I will bring into the future. And I will learn to appreciate them more because of the grief of what I've lost. Can I imagine that? Absolutely, right? It's very common. It's very common that after losing a child or losing a pet or losing a really great partner, that you are more intelligent the next time around. Right? It's very common. You learn from painful mistakes, in other words. So it's very probable, if you take that seriously and make an effort in learning and then work hard because you now know how important it is, it's very probable you can do that. And as you begin to succeed in doing that, your confidence will go up. And as your confidence in the future goes up, your enthusiasm for the future goes up. As your enthusiasm and confidence go up, where's the depression, right? It's vanished.